Welcome to the Mind Shift podcast. Join Rocio Perez, your mental performance strategist, as she navigates you through inspiring journeys with global experts. Explore breakthrough insights and awaken the potential within you wherever you are in life. Get ready to transform your personal growth. Here's Rocio to guide you.
Hello, everyone. I have an extraordinary guest here today, Mr. Maurice Fowler, who is amazing. We just had another interview for our TV show, and it was on fire. I think it started with a mic drop and went on from there. So amazing to have him on our show today. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Rocio, and namaste and blessings to everyone. Bendiciones, mi gente. Español,
Bendiciones.
Latinos. I'm very happy to be here today, and it's always an honor to be on program and on schedule with you, Rocio.
Thank you so much. Thank you
You're
for.
such a great person,
Oh,
and your tenacity, your story is just so powerful, and blessings to you always.
thank you so much for your blessings. I received them and excited for you to be here today. I am looking forward. You were about to share something. And I said, okay, give me a moment because there's going to be another mic drop over here, another golden nugget coming. And so as we continue to create our version of a happy, healthy, and wealthy life, and wealthy in every respect, okay, owning
Yes,
that to
yes.
lead into that fulfillment of life. Tell us about how do we lead ourselves? Like some of us have been through the school of hard knocks. I personally believe that I've been through the school of hard knocks. I have a triple PhD in the school of hard knocks.
Mhm, mhm.
And getting up from those moments in life, how do you do that when it seems so daunting? It seems virtually impossible.
That's first, that's a very good question. When life hands you lemons, as the cliche goes, that's the moment you have a choice. And I don't want to sound cliche in talking about the cliche is, life's about choices. However, there is truth in that what happens to you is what defines you. Okay, let's start there. What happens to you is the very thing that defines you. Okay, people who have never been through anything, I can't be around them because they've never been tested. Okay, the trauma, the troubles, the tragedies, the hard knocks, the hits, all of those individually are like chisels,
Mm, mm.
and they begin hitting you. And unbeknownst to us, why this is going on and why that is going on, and just like if a statue could talk, ouch, sculptor, why, ouch, that hurt, ouch, that hurt. Yes,
Of
it
it.
does hurt, but um, the question is, who have you become
Yes.
as a result of what you've gone through? And when you can define who have you become, then that's the answer
Wow.
to
Wow.
what defines you, to who you are. Because experiences are not, from an esoteric standpoint, to destroy you. They can destroy you if you never come to understand what it means for you. In other words, look at yourself in the mirror objectively, okay, and ask yourself one question. If I did not go through this journey, would I be who I am today?
Wow. Wow.
Okay, that's the sum total of your life experience.
I love that. I'm going to take us a moment right there because we question that just as you said. We question why me? Like what happened? right? There's people that have never been through anything, and then there's people that have been through a lot that maybe question it. I remember in a session with my therapist, letting her know I've been blessed a lot by life.
Mhm.
I've had extraordinary blessings. And I turned to her and I said, I wouldn't change anything for the world.
Mhm.
Because if I would change it, I wouldn't be who I am. I wouldn't have the empathy. I wouldn't have the compassion.
Right,
I wouldn't
right,
have the knowledge, the wisdom, the understanding,
right.
the knowing firsthand what it's like to be through that. And
Mhm.
especially when I'm leading somebody up that mountain
Right.
who doesn't think they can take 100 steps,
Mhm.
much less make it to the top of the mountain
Yes.
and what that looks like. So I love what you're saying. And I know that you have something to share about the limits through a different lens.
That's like a book title. See, that sticks the limits through a different lens. What I could do with that in a book. Um, how you look at things, okay, is determined by your cognition, okay, the way you process your environment, seeing, hearing, feeling, touching, smelling, and your cognition. Your cognitive ability is shaped by your paradigm. They're cousins.
Mhm.
The paradigm is developed from birth to 5 to 7 years of age.
Mhm.
And it's based on what you experience in life, okay? What's going on around you while you're developing as a child. And once that process finishes, the mind actually locks it, say, okay, this is the way the world is, lock it, because we have to survive. And this is what the mind is doing
Mhm.
when it's forming. It's almost what I call the mind inside of the mind. Like there's two things at work. There's a mind, but the mind has its own mind. It gives us the mind to do what we need to do, but it has its own mind to make sure that it is safe. It is a very elemental part of the triune being of the mind, body, and spirit
Mhm.
elements of the human being. So one of the things that I always look at when you're dealing with this area of life is take a moment to pause. Take a moment to pause, step back, and ask yourself, is this really what I'm seeing,
Mhm.
or is this a perception?
Mhm.
You see,
Mhm.
back in the day, there used to be Memorex cassette tapes. So
I
that
remember
tells you,
those.
I'm a kid from the 60s and 70s. Okay. So they used to have this guy sitting in a chair and, a magazine ad, and it said, is it live or is it Memorex? Is the point. Is what you're looking at real? Because today we've come into a world, it's not so much that anything goes, because it certainly doesn't. But there's a lack of authenticity.
Mhm. Mhm.
Many people are doing things because they can do it, not because they should do it. Many
Mhm.
people are saying things because it's the buzzword, but it's nonsense.
Mhm.
Okay. I'm
Mhm.
wearing many hats is one of them. You only got one head. Oh, my plate is full. My question to you is what should be on the plate and what did you add to it? A lot
Right.
of
And what are you
people
doing just to get
mistake
attention
activity. Yes.
or
A
know
lot of people
yourself?
mistake activity for progress.
That's
But
right.
if you put a hamster on that wheel and he's running, there's a lot of activity, but he ain't
It's
going
not
nowhere.
right.
Going nowhere.
Not going
So
anywhere.
yeah, that's it. So,
Wow.
look and see what it is that you're really doing. What are you watching? What are you looking at? Is it real? Is your mind really seeing what's there, or is it not?
Wow. I think that's so fascinating. I love the fact that you brought that up. That is fascinating. There is what's actually happening inside of us and in front of us, right? Those are two very different things. I think about it as being inside of an event and we get triggered. Somebody
Right.
says something And this happens a lot in marriages. This happens a lot at work. This happens in life. Okay.
Yes.
We're just not aware that it's happening in life.
Mhm.
We think somebody did something to us. And one of my favorite examples is somebody would go like this.
Mhm.
You could have said, I'm going to give you $1 million right now. And I'm like, I don't like that person. I'm
Mhm.
not going to work with that person. I'm not going to
Mhm.
collaborate with that person.
Mhm.
I am not,
Yes.
whatever. When you talk about the mind's mind, what's actually happening out of Memorex? What's happening out of
Mhm.
the memory?
Mhm.
For me, this was my mother's like, I'm going to beat you up,
Yeah. Yeah.
right? I'm going to punish you.
Mhm.
And so it is something, was it happening in this moment? My mother wasn't even there.
Right.
Yeah, I am having these physical, visceral reactions to something
Yeah.
that's invisible. It's not
Yes.
even there. It's not,
Yes.
forget that it's invisible. It's not even happening.
Mhm.
And it's not happening right here, right now,
Mhm.
right? That could have been 20, 30 years ago that it happened, yet it's still happening because I haven't processed the trauma.
Mhm.
I have not processed whatever it is that we haven't processed, we will end up repeating
Yes, it will.
until we're ready to process it. Wow. I love the fact that you and I had a previous conversation about the lemons. Like life gives you lemons. I don't have to make lemonade.
That's right.
I don't even want lemonade.
That's exactly right.
I don't even want, maybe I want pineapple juice. Forget it. Let me
Mhm.
go get
Mhm.
my own take.
Mhm.
Lead us down that journey of what does it mean to create from desire versus what you're given.
Thank you. That's a good question. Decision lays a foundation for desire. What you desire comes from a lot of places inside of you. Okay. And then we look at reality and we say, well, we start thinking that we can't have, then we start filling in the blanks. I can't have because I can't have because I'm this. I can't have because I'm that. I'm not the right this. I'm not the right that. I wasn't born the right. And we go on that list. Or I want this. I don't have this, but I can have this if I do this, if I do that, if I. So there's two
The
roads that you
ifs.
can walk down. You can walk down the road of I want, but I can't have because, and life will give you the reasons, and they'll be real.
They will be
Okay,
real. We will
the
create them.
reasons are real. I don't have the money. No one's ever heard of this. No one's ever heard of me. This is not my field. I mean, how could I possibly? It's real reason.
Succeed, whatever it may be.
Or you can be the person. You know what? They haven't heard of me, but they're going to. I don't know anything about this, but I'm going to learn.
Mhm.
So you decide, Napoleon Hill talked about you have to have a burning desire, okay? And that burning desire, people would ask the question, how bad do you want it? How do you want it? And there's a good analogy with that a man wanted to be successful. So he was invited to the beach. And the master grabbed him, said, "Come out into the water." And then he put his head under the water and held it there. So the guy's, he's going frantic because he can't breathe. And then he let him come up. And then he's like, "Hey, are you crazy?" He said, "Now, let me ask you a question. How bad did you want to breathe?" "Oh, I had to." "Okay, now when you match what you want with that passion, nothing can stop you.
Oh,
So
that
when
is
you
where
want to
being
succeed,
unstoppable is.
okay, as powerful as you want to breathe, you'll find a way. In other words, why is Success Mountain so full of few people? Because people aren't willing to do what it takes to get there. There's no secret. And it's not all about working hard and working your fingers to the bone. That's not it. It's not even about working smarter and all these things. It's doing what you have to do. Learn the process because somebody did it before. Learn the process, take action, and fail forward. You see,
Yes.
fail forward. In other
And
words,
meet
make the
yourself where you're
mistake.
at.
Yes,
I
yes, make the
love that.
mistakes. Yes,
I
make the
love that.
mistakes, do what needs to be done, and keep on going. The
Yes.
key is don't stop. That's the key. If you stop, you lose.
Wow. Wow. I love the fact that that's one of my favorite examples of the guy being submerged in water. Like
Yes.
when you want to succeed as bad as you want to breathe,
Mhm,
then you will be successful. And it's
mhm.
fascinating because you talked about so many things. We can write an entire book just on these few minutes that we've been here in this conversation. One of the things I'm going to bring up is that there's been a 50-year plus study that what we tell ourselves, our cells create.
That's right.
If we say, I don't have enough, I can't, I won't, or whatever. And I've seen it, people from all walks of life.
That's right.
I've seen it in children, super young children. I can't do that. You're 4 years old. And to be able to shift and tell that 4-year-old, it'll lead them on a process that they get it.
Right.
And watching them
Uh-huh.
unfold in 7 to 8 seconds
Uh-huh.
and be able to do the very thing that they didn't think they were going to do.
Right.
Like I've seen miracles into that.
Uh-huh.
I've been living proof of that.
Uh-huh.
And it's also about our approach because we can follow what somebody says over and over again. These
That's
were the
right.
10 things that made me successful.
Right.
Well, I'm missing the foundation.
Right.
I cannot even do what you did because I don't have the foundation.
Right.
And it's through that trial and error. A lot of us give up
Uh-huh.
on the first try.
True. Very true.
Those who go beyond that are the ones that succeed
Uh-huh.
in life.
Uh-huh.
And speaking of that, because we always love giving tips, what are the top 3 things that people can take away from today's conversation that would make the greatest difference in their life?
Number one, be clear on what you want. Be clear. Clarity is power. See, and it's a universal law. Okay. When you say I, now you're not just talking about you yourself. You're stepping into the universal plane now because we are divine beings. And I don't mean nothing to do with religion. We are divine beings, we were created beings, and we're part of the universal body. So when you say I and you fill in the blank, you become, because I is I am, and I am whatever I say I am. You
Yes.
see,
Yes.
whatever I say I am happy, I am sad, I am, you see, you fill in that blank, you become. You see, esoterically, sacred books say, as a man or woman thinketh. And before you talk, you think. You see,
That's right.
so the thought comes out of the mouth, but that's what's already inside. So you are. Number two, when you define what you want and you're clear about it, get moving.
Yes.
You see, one of the biggest
Take action.
problems with people and having what they want is spending too much time thinking about doing it and never doing it. They want to plan. They want to be perfect. They want to wait till they're ready, and you're never ready. The time is never perfect. There's always going to be something going on. Take action. Take action now. There's an esoteric saying: if not me, then who? If
Right.
not now, then
And
when?
when?
Okay. So life isn't waiting for us. It's not waiting. Hey, life doesn't have the conversation. Oh, you're not feeling well today? Well, that's all right. Oh, you need about 5, 10 years? Okay, I'll wait for you. No, you
No,
will wake
it's
up
now.
20 years like Rumpelstiltskin, and the world has passed on. So get moving. Number two, when you get moving, be consistent.
Mhm.
Stay consistent. In other words, it's like what I learned in corporate years ago, Kaizen, continuous improvement. Once you get the ball rolling, keep it rolling. Keep it rolling. In other words, people become successful, then they do the Fat Joe lean back song, they lean back. No. When you get it moving, you got to keep moving.
That's
A
right.
body at rest tends to stay at rest.
Yes.
A body in motion tends to stay at motion. There's no secrets with this. It all has to do with defining what you want, get busy doing it, and keep on doing it. Don't do it and someday don't do it, and then you do it, then you don't do it, and then you want to go on vacation and
And then you forget what you even committed
right.
to.
Now I will say there is time for rest. There is time for rest. There is time for life balance. But that's part of the entire package of when you get moving. Because when you got to deal with your kids, you got to deal with your kids.
Yes.
When you got to deal with your significant other, you got to deal with your significant other. When you need to go to the doctor or whatever you got to do, you got to do that.
Yes.
So it's a complete package of planning, performing, and maintaining.
Indeed, indeed. I love that. And so powerful that you name that it is, you've got to keep moving. You got to decide, because a lot of us don't decide. And then life just happens. I remember friends when I was in university, what do you want to accomplish? And even after university, well, I don't want to make a mistake. You're already making a mistake. You've already made a choice. The choice is to do nothing.
That's it.
There will be an output, whether you do something, whether you partially do something, or whether you do nothing. There's always an outcome. And then when we really see that for ourselves, we can start to intentionally create the life that we love and desire. That's the power of it. It's been such an amazing pleasure, and I'm so excited to have you on our future shows so that you can continue to bring in your wisdom. And I want to hear about the books as we come back on board in our future segments to talk about some of your amazing work and how you're touching, moving, inspiring, connecting, helping people see life through a different lens, one that will lead them to where they want to be.
Namaste, blessings, and thank you so much. It's been a privilege and an honor.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for joining us today on the Mindshift podcast. Rocio hopes you've been inspired and gained insights to fuel your journey of personal growth. Remember to subscribe and share this episode with friends who are also exploring their potential. Leave us a review to help spread the message. Rocio says, stay curious, stay inspired, and keep exploring your potential with us. Until next time, goodbye.